Crazy storylines and Call of Duty esports go hand in hand. We've seen twins win a world championship together and a substitute win a major. But what about the storylines we never got to see? How would they have changed the future? Let's enter the COD multiverse and find out. Going into franchising in 2019, arguably the biggest story was Crimsix getting dropped from the OpTic family. Since the OpTic brand was sold to Immortals, Scump and Hex decided to leave. They joined NRG's franchise, the Chicago Huntsmen, but Crimsix did not get an invite. Much to his surprise after the loyalty he showed to Scump after the World War II season. Instead, he joined Dallas Empire, owned by Team Envy, where he would have a very successful year. He even ended up winning champs with Empire and was named Finals MVP. The question is, if Crimsix did play on the Huntsmen, would he have still won the ring? Would Scump be a two-time world champion? Black Ops 2 was the first year that Activision held an official COD World Championship. The prize pool was bigger than ever, and the winners each received a glorious ring. But what about the major championships in the seasons predating Black Ops 2? In 2011, MLG held a national championship in Black Ops 1, where all the best teams and players attended, including Scump, JCap, and Karma. Many considered this event the unofficial World's Championship. But nobody expected Doug Sensor Martin and Quantic Next Threat to come out on top. Many believe Sensor talks a big game without the achievements to back it up, but if this counted as an official ring, I'm sure we'd never hear the end of it.
I'm speechless. I mean, this is the moment that we've been waiting for the entire season long. We always have something that doesn't go our way every single event, and what better time for it to come our way in the national championship match? It's amazing. I can't believe this is happening right now.
The question is, if Sensor did have an official ring, would it change where people have him in the all-time rankings and the perception of his talent? Some of you may remember that Zuma once played for OpTic Gaming in a CWL Pro League match, subbing in for Dashi during his visa troubles. But what many people don't know is that Zuma could have been an OpTic member an awful lot earlier. After a tough loss to FaZe at the 2018 Stage 1 playoffs, OpTic decided it was time to break up the dynasty. This was arguably the greatest roster of all time, so whoever was going to join had to be a superstar talent. The team ended up with Octane and Methods, two players known for being the main AR for their teams. As most people expected, the team kinda flopped, and they didn't even make it out of bracket play at the World Championship. Octane was a solid replacement for Formal, but the team clearly needed an SMG to partner Scump, and Zuma himself confirmed in a Reddit AMA that joining OpTic was a possibility, with OpTic also considering the services of John. But Zuma opted to stay on FaZe Clan instead, allegedly receiving a significant pay rise to do so. Would Zuma have revived OpTic's season if he had joined in 2018? And could he have played for the Green Wall for the rest of his career?
Just playing it patiently for now. All the pressure on Vortex to get this planted. Vortex instead says Zuma guns him.
In the 2015 season, Hook, Temp, and TJ Halley were some of the best players in the game despite only being in their mid-teens. And while they were not allowed to compete at COD Champs due to the age restriction at the big one, we still got to see them showcase their incredible talents in the other tournaments. Things changed though in 2016 with the inception of the Call of Duty World League. Activision decided that every single tournament would have this 18+ age restriction. This meant that every player who was under 18 and was good enough to compete were not able to do so. As players like Simp, Illy, and Selim were waiting on the sidelines, fans were left wondering how they would fare against pro teams like Envy, FaZe, and OpTic Gaming.
Illy going off, as we'll be able to watch this one again. Shuts down 2, shuts down 3, and takes out 4.
Fast forward to today, and all three aforementioned players, in addition to Hook, have now all won a world championship. So the question is, how many championships did they miss out on due to the age restriction? And would the greatest of all time list already look rather different? The OpTic Dynasty was in a rough spot following their heartbreaking loss to Cloud9 at COD Champs 2016. They placed top 6 at the first Infinite Warfare event and were about to place top 8 at CWL Atlanta if they didn't beat amateur team Panda Gaming.
Gonna pay off, he's gonna be able to get a kill. 2 versus 2 situation. Fastball going up against Karma. Loser goes home.
1 minute remains. It's all down to a 1 versus 1. Karma versus Fastball. No payloads. The camo was already used. The bomb is down on middle map. Karma.
The bomb is gonna go down. Things are looking good for OpTic Gaming right now. The Scarab can come into play as well. Probably not the best thing to use in a 1 versus 1. We could have a gunfight coming down here to decide if Fastball spot Karma. That is the question.
Oh, look.
Karma's going to be right on the other side of the wall. We can see it through X-ray. My heart is racing, and Karma is going to come out on top and take out Fastball, eliminating Panda Gaming from the CWL Atlanta Open and advancing.
Luckily for them, Karma clutched up big time in the 1 versus 1 Game 5 Round 11 against Fastballer. And OpTic went on to make the finals of the event and reignite their belief that this team could still win champs together. They went on to win the next 2 events in a row and ended the season by finally claiming World Championship glory. But what if Karma never won the 1 versus 1 against Fastballer? Would OpTic still have stuck together? Would Scump and Formal have 0 rings? In the 2021 off-season, one of the craziest events in COD history occurred as Envy and OpTic merged to form OpTic Texas. This meant that there were only 4 starting roster spots from 8 players from the OpTic Chicago and Dallas Empire teams. Many were wondering if Crim and Scump would finally reunite after winning so many championships together in the past. Scump recently confirmed that OpTic Crimsix was in fact a possibility going into Call of Duty Vanguard, but it seems his former teammates and potentially coach Rambo on Dallas vetoed the decision and Dashi joined as main AR instead.
Envy is now merging with us. And I said, so what does that mean for the team? And he's like, well, now we've acquired their players, and Crim was obviously one of their players. So I get on a call with Crim for like 45 minutes outside on like Sunday night. But yeah, we talked on the phone for like 45 minutes and just talking about like what's going to happen, you know, how's the team going to work and all that. And I was like, I'm coming in, I don't want to intrude. It was just supposed to be me.
Right. But you were going to be the only one.
Yeah, it
from
was just
the
supposed to be
OpTic
me,
team?
and Illy, and Crim.
Crimsix went to the New York Subliners, winning the Pro-Am as well as making the finals of Major 4. OpTic also won just a single tournament that season, but failed to make any finals appearances after their Stage 1 victory, largely due to Illy's injury. The question is, would OpTic have had a better season with Crimsix instead of Dashi? Where might Dashi have ended up? And crucially, would Crimsix still be competing today?
Like, you know, if I get an offer, I might play, but if I don't, then thank God, you know.
And there you have it, the biggest what-if moments in Call of Duty that we could think of. If we missed any, let us know in the comments section below, and we might get a part 2 in the works. Don't forget to make the like button turn blue if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more COD highlights and documentaries.